KATY Lindberg of KATY Lindberg Agency. She's a farmer's insurance agent. So today we're going to talk a little bit about life insurance.
Correct.
And the importance of having a life insurance policy. More people are thinking about life insurance as something happens to their friends or their family members, and they think, maybe I should look into that.
Right. I had a couple that I talked with for years about life insurance, and they were like, yeah. And then one day they called and they're like, can we come Saturday at 10? And they came in, we did the life insurance, and so just casual conversation, what are you doing this afternoon? They were on their way to a funeral.
Oh.
So it took a life event for them to go and make it happen.
Okay. So with people that are in their 20s and 30s, that are young, that are never going to die, they're healthy, what is the thing that really makes them think about it?
Children definitely are a trigger. I had a customer call me last year and he said, we just had a baby, what do I need to change with my insurance? And I said, well, you need to add life insurance. And so it took them 6 months, but we finally got that done too. And the important thing is life insurance is like an umbrella. You need to buy it before you need it, because a lot of people assume that they can always qualify for life insurance. And I can tell you, becoming our certain age, I wrote 30 policies last year. I only issued 14, because as we get older, things start to happen, sickness, mental wellness, joints, just cholesterol,
right.
Blood pressure, all those things. So I really try to encourage young people to get life insurance.
Well, you're 25 years old, let's say. You've never had any sort of medical issues. To get it now, to lock it in when you're 25, how often do you have to come back and check up on your medical history and things like that?
Once we issue a policy, you are locked in. Generally, young people like the term because it's a large amount of benefit for a small amount of money. So if a 25-year-old could get $500,000 in coverage for $30 to $40 a month, that's $500,000 to give to your surviving spouse and children.
Okay. So even when you turn 65 or 70, you still have that policy. You're not going to get canceled because you become old.
Oh, no. So what happens with the term policies is we lock you in for either 10 or 20 years. And then at the end of that time period, I will reach back out to you to see if you either want to replace it, if you want to change it into a permanent policy, use it as part of your retirement. But the policy will never go away. After the 10 or 20 year period, if you find yourself uninsurable at that time, the policy is still there. Just every year on the anniversary, the renewal, the policy premium will go up after that 20 years. So ideally, we would want to replace it.
Sure.
And lock your rate back in again.
Okay.
But I've had 3 specific recent customers that they're no longer insurable, but they still have that coverage.
Okay. 23
years ago, my roommate helped me out by buying a life policy. It was $14 a month, and she really didn't think about it afterwards. So 20 years came up, and I reached out to her to see if she wanted to meet up, have lunch, replace the policy, because obviously she was still healthy, right? Only to find out that she'd been diagnosed with cancer. And she ended up passing away 6 months after we had talked.
Okay.
And her husband knew she had this policy, but didn't really know what it was because it's $14 a month. He assumed it, $20,000, $50,000, but it was $150,000 that they weren't expecting.
Sure.
And it was very beneficial for that family. One thing I like to talk to people about, because a lot of people run through the scenario, what if my spouse gets laid off? Or, people have had scares where, they might go on strike, or for some reason, you're going to lose an income. It actually happened with us when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 16, but I relied on my husband's income and benefits. Well, after our first ultrasound with her, he came home to tell me he'd been laid off. So while that was a stressful experience for us, we knew that he would be able to get another job. But what I want people to think about, and they don't want to think about it, is what if I'd gotten a call that he'd been in an accident and he wasn't going to be coming home? That's where life insurance comes in, because life insurance replaces that income. Life insurance pays off the mortgage. Life insurance pays, for the continued, dance lessons and hockey sticks and things like that. It gives the family options, and not, rather than putting a financial burden where they're asking their friends and family, to fund the funerals, and it's better just to have that taken care of for $20, $30 a month.
As far as affordability, I think people are a bit freaked out about that and say, I'm right up to the line as far as I can't afford life insurance, I can't afford anything else, I didn't get a raise last year, whatever. Life insurance is incredibly affordable. So maybe some typical, I know you cannot just say, okay, it's X dollars per month, because everyone's situation is different, but we were talking about, that cup of caribou. What's more important, caribou coffee or life insurance?
Right. You afford what you want to afford. I mean, I've people come in with, $300-400 car payments, but can't afford this $20 life policy, even though they would get a discount off their car insurance. But we can talk about that. But yeah, what I do as the agent is find out what does fit in your budget, and then I will find a policy to fit that. Like I said, the one that I had issued on my friend was $14 a month for 20 years. $500,000 we've written down here for 25 to 30-year-old male. $500,000 is between $30-40.
Okay.
Of course, depends on your health, your family history, things like that. But if the $30-40 doesn't fit in your budget, $150,000 is nothing to sneeze at either, and that's going to be $15 to $20 a month. So just to have something. The application process is quite easy. That's one thing I really strive on, is to try to make it easy to help people get it done. We can even do applications over the phone at this point. Or obviously, I love to go to people's homes, because that's where I get a real feel of their family and their kids and pets and all kinds of things. But the application takes about 10-15 minutes. And then what we do is we schedule what's called a paramedic, or a nurse visit comes and kind of asks you the medical questions again, draws some blood, but that's at no cost to the customer. So if anything, you get a free physical.
There you go.
While doing the application. And once we get the numbers back, or the underwriting back from that, then we can discuss real numbers, because they're obviously are different tiers based on your health. And if you're on blood pressure medication, or if you've had some medical, still ask about it. We've got policies for everybody.
So one of the things definitely that you recommend, Katie, is having a human being as an insurance agent, not a 1-800 number. You're located here, you have a storefront, but you're basically available 24/7.
I am. I just laugh, because my husband's always like, can you put your phone down? And it's just, I want to be available for people.
Right.
Especially with life insurance. I have delivered a couple checks, and unexpected, of course they're unexpected, because it's life insurance, but just being there for the family, being at the funeral, being at the service, working with the funeral planner, so that you don't have to do all the paperwork. I mean, this last one, basically the funeral planner and myself got the life insurance process done.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is paperwork. I can't imagine. So having a human being to go to that's going to hug you, that's going to cry, I just think you can't put a value on that. And 9 times out of 10, our rates are better than what you find online, because we are here to, assess it.
You are on 2nd Street, 312 2nd Street East, right next to the post office here in downtown Hastings.
Yes.
And your phone number?
651-437-5031. I have a Facebook page. My real name is Katrin, Katrin Lindberg, but if you Google Katy Lindberg, you'll still find me.
Okay.
So I do encourage you to like our Facebook page. We like to have interesting, fun stuff on there. We've got a website. Again, if you just Google Katy Lindberg, the farmer's website should pop up for you.
Sure.
But always feel free to call, email us.
Yeah.
We are, as I said, I'm available.
Tom Bullington with Keller Williams Real Estate, 651-402-6356. Website buysouthmetro.com.